All right. Hey, good morning, everyone. For those of you that don't know who I am, my name is Carlos Vargas. I am a real estate investor and soon to be your local real estate agent. With me today, I have Antonio Mendoza. And before we go over what we're going to be talking about today, I would love for you, Antonio, to kind of tell us a little bit about yourself. Who you are, what do you do? Tell us a little bit about your company and what got you started in real estate.
All right. First of all, thank you, Carlos, for inviting me to this Zoom call. I definitely appreciate that. So for those that don't know me, my name is Antonio Mendoza. You probably see me if you follow me on Instagram or some of my handles. I go by Tony Real Estate. Basically, I'm a broker, owner of AVM Real Estate Services. I've been in the industry, real estate industry, got my license back in 2010. Prior to that, I was actually also in the mortgage industry back in 03, 04. That's when I first got the taste of the mortgage industry. And it's been pretty much in the industry for the past, 16, 17 years, anywhere from doing the mortgage to also, I've also did investment before too. I was also buying and flipping and selling homes as well. And now just a full-time real estate broker out here in the local Temecula area. Office is in Old Town Temecula. And basically the reason I got into business and real estate because I really love the flexibility of that it allows me to be able to, being a dad myself, I have a 7 and a 10-year-old, allows me the flexibility to be able to make my own hours. Even when I was working in the mortgage industry, I was making a lot of money, but I really didn't have that time because I was pretty much stuck in front of my computer 10, 12-hour days. And at that time, I was actually working for a mortgage company, commuting from Corona, where I was living at the time, from Corona to Irvine. So, and for those that have done that commute, you can only imagine the headache that goes along or comes along with that commute.
Gotcha. Okay. So thank you for that, Antonio. With that now, let's go ahead and move on into what we're going to be talking about today. Today we're going to be showing you, how to properly ask questions to the broker, right? The broker that you're trying to work for during your interview as a real estate agent. What are those questions that you should be asking? Those of you thinking about becoming a real estate agent or just wanting to learn a little bit more about real estate, this is for you. I believe this is one of the most important steps during the process to becoming an agent. Remember, your reputation has a lot to do with the reputation of the broker and the other agents you choose to work with. Do you agree with that, Antonio?
Yeah, I agree 100%. And I've had a conversation with a lot of agents too, or a lot of potential agents, who have asked me about joining my brokerage as well as that. And moving forward, I think it's, as you can see, I'm wearing my t-shirt, AVM Real Estate Services, which for those that don't know what I came up with AVM, it's my initials, AVM Real Estate Services. So of course, anybody that joins my brokerage has to represent, what I believe in, the integrity that I believe in, and what I stand for. So yeah, definitely my reputation is based on, the reputation of who I bring in, not only bring in to work under my brokerage, but also the people that I align and associate with in my real estate company.
Good. All right, well, let's go ahead and begin. And the first question I have for you, Antonio, is as an agent, what are my expenses starting out?
Well, as an agent, prior to actually becoming an agent, of course, you're going to have to take your real estate courses. And then I believe you can go online. You probably know that more since you just took it recently. And then after that, you have to take your test, real estate exam, state exam. You have to take your fingerprints. And then I think, what are they, like $75 for the fingerprints or something like that. But then after that, you do have to, once you get your license and you figure out which brokerage you're going to work for, you are going to have to join an association, which is local realtor board. I'm part of the Southwest Riverside County Association of Realtor Boards. I probably pay about, I would say, a little under $1,000 a year for all that. And then you also have your Supra, what I call your Supra key, which gives you access to be able to open all the doors out there that uses, you know, the what they call the Supra E key. It's a digital app that you can unlock a lot of the houses out here locally in the Riverside County. So I was saying that's about $15 a month for that. Aside from that, you're probably looking at, you know, I would always recommend you get some business cards. So, you know, depending on how the quality of the business card, I mean, I guess you can go to Vistaprint, get a basic one for like $10. Or you can, you know, I've actually bought some business card. I paid $200 for just 100. They're my metal cards, you know. So those are some of the basic expenses just to get, you know, really started. I would also recommend you buy some open house signs. I would recommend minimum at least 20 open house signs. Anything less than that, you're probably not getting enough signs out there, and you know, when you do open houses. So that probably will run you about $200 to $300. You know, probably $10 per sign for open house sign. So I would say about $300 for that, as well as including the stakes and all that. So I mean, and that's not being, and then from there, there's of course other expenses that you will incur as you go through your process, you know, education, seminars, even also marketing for when you market for potential listings or when you do get listings.
Okay. And so what do you pay as the broker?
What do I offer my agents, or?
Yes. What kind of services do you pay as the broker?
Okay. So as a broker, I mean, usually it starts with me because for those that don't know, I am still a producing broker. Some out there still producing just like my agents. So I do have a CRM, which is your contact relationship management system. So I pay that every month. And for all my agents that are part of my team that actually I provide leads for, they're actually able to use my CRM system. And this is a great system because it allows the agents to be able to follow up with their leads when they're, even though while they're still out there busy working, doing open house, it's still following up with emails and texts. I mean, quick story, I had a client over the weekend on Sunday call me. This is a lead I've had on my CRM for over 3+ years. I'll be honest, I haven't spoken to her in probably 2 years, but she's been, you know, part of my CRM. She jumps on my CRM and occasionally looking at houses. She does still get my emails, drip system, you know, because I have a drip campaign that still emails and sends out listing alerts to my clients that are on these CRM. So she reached out to me over the weekend and saying, hey, my name is blah, blah, blah. And I just wanted, you know, I don't know if you remember me, but you've been sending me listings. I'm here right now still in the Philippines, but I plan to come back by July. I want to buy a house. If I didn't have a CRM or a great system in place, there was no way I was going to be able to get that lead. So even though I wasn't doing my part really in following up with her specifically, because I have thousands of leads in my CRM is still doing the job and following up with that. So that's one of the biggest tool that I provide for my agents. I don't provide them any additional cost for that. I do have also a transaction management system. Basically what that is, after you open escrow, there's certain disclosures or paperwork that's required on each file. So for me to be able to track and audit that and save that, they have to upload all those documents and files to my transaction management system. So I also provide that as well. In addition to that, I do also offer errors and omission for all my agents. So, and there's a lot of other little things here that I offer, but those are some of the basic stuff that I know most agents are looking for, you know, that I know for other brokerage, you're probably going to have to pay a monthly desk fee, or more importantly, a monthly tech fee just to be part of that brokerage. And before I forget, you know, even though I don't charge a desk fee, I do have a physical office in Old Town Temecula that a lot of my agents could come in and do the work as well if they want some a professional environment to go to.
Okay. Thank you. What are the commissions split?
I'm sorry, what was that?
What are the commissions split?
Okay, great question. Commission split is basically depending on the individual. So I usually break it up to two splits. Split whether or not the person self-generates. That means they generate their own leads, maybe from their sphere or somebody that they know. There's a split for that. And then there's another split when it's a lead that I provide for my agents. Now, I don't want to give you a specific percentage split because each agent will be different. It's a case by case for individual agents, depending on their experience, their knowledge, and really what they bring into the table. So it really varies as far as split. But yeah, I kind of break it up to simplify it to different split, whether or not I'm giving them the lead or they're self-generating the leads.
Got it. So you're saying that commissions are always negotiable?
Correct. Yeah, they're always negotiable. So depending on the individual's experience, talent, and what they bring to the table, because a lot, if they don't need to use my CRM, if they don't need to use a lot of my stuff that I provide for them, then yeah, I can definitely negotiate a higher split for them. So, and that would vary for individual, and I don't want to necessarily give that split up because each individual, each agent in my brokerage might have a different split than the next one.
Got it. Understood. So Antonio, what is the typical annual income from commissions for most agents, would you say?
That's a great question. I think I was reading a stat about a couple of weeks ago. Most agents, believe it or not, probably make less than $40,000 a year, and that's a full-time agent. I'm not even taking consideration of part-time agents who maybe only do 1 to 2 deals a year, and that's really the average. I mean, right now, if you look at the nationwide, the average commission for agents is probably $35,000 to $40,000 a year, and that's full-time agents, right? So, and I say it's like the Pareto principle, which is the 80-20. 20% of the agents do 80% of the production out there. I mean, in certain areas, maybe even 5% of the agents locally in certain markets do majority of the production. So for the most part, I mean, and you'll find out a lot of agents probably don't do this full time. There's a lot of part-time agents, that just do this on the side or in the weekend. But on occasion, on average, I would say about 30 to 40,000 is probably the average for an agent, who's really doing it full time.
Okay, got it. So what is the training, mentorship available for new agents?
That's a great question. I mean, there's before I go into my training, there are a lot of trainings that the local realtor boards offers. So for any agent that whether they join my brokerage or join another brokerage, because I hear a lot of agents when they talk to me, they're like, oh, I don't get any training support. I like to let them know that if they are part of the realtor board, which is definitely something that you have to be in order to be called a realtor, otherwise you're just a regular salesperson. In order to get the designation as a realtor, you do have to join one of your local realtor association. But there's tons of training. Or even right now, if you go to online, there's a lot of online webinars or online trainings, whether you're looking to learn about how to do the residential purchase agreement, which is those basic contracts, learn about new disclosures, especially right now with the COVID-19. There are a lot of new disclosures, new forms that are required right now. So there are a lot of trainings being offered there, a lot of even specific designations that you can get designation as far as a short sale negotiator or a buyers and working with buyers, working with sellers. So there are a lot of training opportunities for a lot of agents. So whether or not they're with my brokerage or another brokerage, there should be no reason they say that that they don't get the training, because there's a lot of training out there just provided by their local realtor board. Okay. Now, as far as my training, one thing that I offer I offer more of the hands-on, more of the the trenches kind of training, more of the sales training. Being in the industry for close to 20 years, and from doing mortgage to the real estate, I've also done several other sales professions in the past. So I've got over close to 20, 25 plus years of experience in the sales industry. So it's really that experience and that knowledge that I like to provide to my agents. So from the basic sales training, how to talk to clients, how to overcome objections, even to the basic, how to work with a contract. But I really like to focus more on the sales part of it, and also on the lead generation part of it as well. So, but training is definitely something I offer weekly to my agents. I also do one-on-one mentorship as well for those who are committed and want my one-on-one mentorship as well.
Okay, perfect. So, by the way, Antonio, since we're talking about training and self-development and all that, I heard about a program that you've been working on.
Mm-hmm.
Mind sharing that with us?
Yes, thank you for bringing that up. Right now, I've been for the last couple of years. Actually, even I started this kind of even before I was actually a broker. Even when I didn't have agents underneath me or working for my brokerage, I started doing local realtor workshops, or I call it like a real estate boot camp. Offer pretty much just an A to Z, training that agents, whether they're new or old, can learn, in the process. So right now, what I'm working on right now is really customizing that training and really doing another training, specifically more for newer agents, for people like yourself who are thinking of getting their license, so that even before they get their license, they can really understand what it takes to be a successful realtor and make it a successful real estate career. So I'm going to teach them basically from the kind of like the basic real estate 101 and what they need to learn from everything from the basic real estate, to mortgage, to learning from escrow, title, home inspections, appraisal, stuff like that. I actually am planning to bring in a lot of people from the industry, title reps, escrows, my mortgage lender partners, and have them, share some, knowledge as well in these boot camps and these workshops that I plan to do.
Perfect.
Yeah, so there's a lot more to it, but yeah, that's kind of like the gist of it.
Okay, thank you for sharing that. How long is going to be your workshop for? How long is it going to be for?
Right now, it depends on, of course, how we're come out of this. I guess this lockdown, I guess you could say. Right now, I mean, I did my last boot camp that I did last year, about around this time, was about 8 weeks. Okay. Actually, prior to that, the one before that, I was actually my 100 days to 100K program, which was a 15-week workshop that we met once a week. We went and went over different topics each week. So this one, I'm going to probably do it between 6 to 8 weeks, depending on how many newer agents or potential agents that I have on board. I'm going to probably crunch it to about 6 to 8 weeks, and where basically we meet once a week, maybe 2 to 3 hours. Right now, if we start right now before the lockdown, we're probably going to be meeting via Zoom or a webinar platform. And then from there, moving to more of a hands-on, face-to-face at my office. I do have a conference room out in my office in Temecula that I can definitely use to do these trainings as well.
Okay. How much is it going to be? What is the cost of it?
That's a great question. I have two options right now. I haven't locked in as far as the actual price. I'm actually last year, I offered this program to non-AVM agents, which was $595 for the whole week course.
Okay.
Right now, I'm toying the idea. I'm actually just offering this for free because of what's going on with the virus, and a lot of people are unemployed, don't have money to spend right now. So I'm actually going to be offering this for the short period of time for free, whether you're an agent or non-agent of AVM. I'm actually offering this for free right now. So, and after that, we'll probably re-examine it at that point if we'll still be doing it for free. But right now, this workshop that I'm going to be doing, I'm actually going to be offering for free right now.
Oh, wow. Well, you know where I'll be, Antonio. Sign me up.
Awesome.
Definitely. All right. Well, next question. Do you have a minimum sales productivity goal for your agents? Is there a minimum sales productivity that they have to hit?
Okay. Excellent question. Usually as far as sales, being a sales manager myself I was a sales manager for about 7 years when I was working for corporate America. And then each month I would do what I call my personal development with them, sit down and can do a one-on-one coaching session with them. But really, I don't have, as a broker, I don't really have a sales quota that each agent, because each agent is different. I do have agents that are still just part-time working for me right now. And I also have other agents that are full-time. I like to put it this way. I mean, to me, everybody has different goals. So my job is, if an agent comes to me and say, hey, I just want to do 2 deals a year, then I'm going to help them do 2 deals a year. As opposed to another agent that comes to me and say, I want to do 2 deals a month, then my conversation and my coaching will be based around that. And my accountability, and this is really based off on accountability. I don't really necessarily have sales quota as much as I do have sales accountability. You know, what that means is basically if somebody says, I want to do 1 deal a month or 2 deals a month or whatever the case is, or I want to do 30 deals this year, my conversation, my accountability, measures will definitely be different from them. And I'll definitely be holding them accountable as far as that they're doing the right activity. But as far as specific sales quota, no, I don't really have a sales quota, because at the end of the day, we're all independent contractors. We all have different goals. Of course, moving forward, I do want to bring in agents that aren't looking to just do this part-time, that really want to make this a career, because I don't want to be that brokerage that has 100 agents and only 5 people actually selling or doing any production at all. So I really want to be more concentrated and like goes back to your first question, my reputation, right? I want agents that really want to work, that want to make a career and want to be really successful in the real estate business, because my success is going to be based off their success. So that's really what I measure, if I'm doing well, I'm doing not so well.
Okay. So you measure your success with, in regards to the results that they
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Got it. So what is your system when it comes to leads and referrals coming from you? Like, do you have a system put in place? For example, who gets it first? Like, who's that agent that is going to get your leads, your referrals? Do you have a system for those type of incentives?
Excellent question. Right now, what I'm actually going to be working on is actually, because right now, all of my agents right now are all independent. So they're actually not part of necessarily my team, even though they're part of my brokerage. They're independent. They're responsible to generate their own business. Okay. I do occasionally reward some of my agents that are working full-time, that are going to my meetings, that are, I see working hard. I do provide them leads. But moving forward, this is going to be part of actually my program that I'm going to be working on here shortly, is basically any agents or newer agents, once they go through my program or go through my internship and I bring them on, they actually will be part of my team for a short period of time. So they're going to go through my, which is going to be under my AVM Realty group, which is going to actually be part of my team. And what this entails and encompasses is I actually will be providing leads. So if I have 1 agent, 2 agents, doesn't matter how many agents I bring on, if they're going to be under my team, I will be providing them a certain amount of leads each month. Okay. So it's not going to be, hey, I like you better. No, it's going to be, kind of like a round robin, but at the end of the day, end of the month, they will pretty much get this equal amount of leads. But at the same time, if I also see that they're not making the phone calls, not following up the leads, not going to the meetings, then of course, at that point, I'm going to, revisit and probably cut off there some of the leads. But yeah, so as far as the leads, I'm kind of guys, like, I believe in rewarding those who are working hard. If I see somebody that's making the phone calls, out there doing open houses, coming to the meetings, going through the training sessions, communicating with me, going through, listening to all the, the coaching sessions that I provide for them, then of course my job is I'm going to help them along the way to make it easier for them so that they can find success sooner than later.
Okay, good. So Antonio, what would you say separates you from your competition? Why would someone want to work with your company versus another broker?
That's an excellent question. And the funny thing is that's the same question I ask a lot of brokers before I actually went independent. That was actually the same similar question I asked a lot of these questions to a lot of these brokers, because even before I went independent, and decided to go on my own, I wanted to interview, and I did interview a lot of these brokers, brokerages out there, actually even interviewed with a few top teams, and I actually asked them the same question. And what I found was a lot of them said, we offer the best training, we offer the best support, right? We offer the best culture, right? And the funny thing is, they all said that, right? So I had to ask myself when I went independent, I wanted to be different. I didn't want to be the guy, well, we offer the best training. Well, that's what the other brokers said. We offer the best support. Well, that's what the other brokers said. We offer the best technology. And at the end of the day, we all offer the same similar services, right? What I think more than anything, and that I can tell any agent, potential agents that want to join my broker or is thinking of joining my brokerage, or if it's a good fit for them, is they're not necessarily joining AVM Real Estate Services. They're joining my culture, my family, because I'm a family guy too. I'm a big family guy. To me, I say this a lot of times to my masterminds. In life, there's only two things you got to know, right? The first thing is where you're going. The second is who's coming with me, right? See, before I went independent and went brokerage, even before I got into the real estate business, I had a plan, I had a goal where I wanted to go and where I wanted to be 5, 7 years, 10 years. And that's the thing. It's hard sometimes. I like to use that quote, the worst thing than being blind is having sight without vision, right? A lot of people have sight, but they don't have vision of where they want to take their business. See, I have a vision where I want to go, and that's why it's what separates me from a lot of other brokers, as I know where I want to go. And I believe in leadership, and I think anybody that joins me and is committed and share the same vision and same mindset and goals as me, we're gonna lock arms. It's not about me being your broker or me being the manager or me being the top dog. It's about, hey, I'm in the trenches with everybody, right? I'm out there still making phone calls every day. Yesterday I actually made $75 yesterday. I actually tallied it up yesterday. I made over $75 yesterday, personally, as a broker, right? So I'm still making calls. I'm still making dials. I'm not out there sitting behind my desk and just watching videos or not doing anything, checking my emails. I'm actually out there making phone calls. I'm actually every day learning different trainings from top realtors, top producers. I'm always looking for different new technology out there that these companies are providing so that I can stay ahead of the curve. And that's what separates me, is really that I'm actually looking out for not only myself, but for my team, and not only my current team, but people that I'm about to bring on board. Because I already see what I plan to go down the road. And that's what I'm building right now, is building the foundation that is going to last not only in this pandemic, but that's going to last to the end of time and really be the name brand where people will be saying AVM. Oh, I remember AVM when it was first started, when they're doing a Zoom call. So it's really the thing that I can say is they're really locking arms with me specifically. And when you lock arms with me, I know where I'm going. And for those who are committed, I'm going to make sure that we don't fail. So that's really what the buying is really me, the individual, and everything else is just like anything, is the culture we bring in.
So Antonio, I heard you saying this a lot. I'm just curious to kind of know. So what is your vision? What is your goal? Where are you trying to bring your company?
Great question. I mean, and I would say this to a lot of agents or even teams, because I still do coach or talk to a lot of different teams and different agents from other brokerage. Because we have, there's a mission statement and we have a vision statement. Like me, I have a mission statement and a vision statement. My mission statement is just change how real estate is sold, right? Pretty simple. Right now with what's going on with this pandemic, the way we're selling real estate is changing, right? We're doing a lot of stuff virtually. But really the vision for me specifically is be the next name brand is, it's not to just have a local boutique or brokerage, down here. I want to be the next big real estate brand out there nationwide. And that's really my vision. And it's really, the vision is by really focusing more on our mission and less on the commission, right? So if we focus in more on helping the consumer, doing good for the clients, and not focus on, well, I'm only making 1% commission on this. If I sell this house, I don't want to show this house. Now, really just focusing on what we're supposed to do. And that's the mission of helping buyers or sellers do what they asked us to do, which is help them find a house or help them sell the house. And from there, using that to really growing and building a culture that it's not about how much money we make, it's not how much money we make, but how many people we help along the process. And that's really the vision, is really transform how real estate is sold, and starting with the agent, where it's not about like, hey, I want to go to this brokerage because they give me a higher split or they provide leads for me. No, it's about, hey, I want to join this brokerage because I know what they stand for. And I know at the end of the day, I don't measure my success by how much money I made on that sale. I measure my successes and how satisfied and how happy, that client was at the end of the day. And that's really, to me, the culture that I want to bring. And that's why, my vision is, as I see it, is going to be different than a lot of other brokers right now. Perfect.
And I'm glad that you mentioned that, Antonio, because I was actually reading an article the other day, and, they said that most agents, they're worried too much about the split, the percentage and what they're going to get in regards to money. But really, I mean, it is important, don't get me wrong, but really what you need to be looking at is, what is this broker going to do for you, in regards to training, in regards to mentorship, in regards to reputation, right? And like you said, happiness, right? And that is the ultimate goal, right?
Yeah.
So, yes, I do agree 100% with everything that you said, and I'm glad that you mentioned that. So pretty much, as an agent, would you say that we're going to have opportunities to go up the chain of command, like maybe to a higher position within your company?
Oh, excellent question. That's an excellent question, Carlos. I believe, to me, and I tell my agents, my current agents right now, because I believe in, whether I was doing real estate or doing mortgages or anything like that, it's about empowering people, right? And that's what leaders are. Leaders, empower people, right? To grow, to believe that they can be somebody more than what they currently are right now. And I think that's really, I'm a big believer in that. For all the jobs or careers that I've had, when I felt like I wasn't being empowered or I didn't feel like I can grow individually, and that's the only reason I left my past brokerage. I was working for a brokerage. I was making 100%, basically, paying only them a small flat fee. But I left that brokerage because why? Because I knew I wasn't going to grow. I wasn't going to be empowered to become better than who I am now. And when you get to a point when you're stagnant and not want to achieve higher goals, then that's when I know it's time to move on. So yeah, I definitely encourage, and that's part of the process with my the program that we were discussing earlier, is because it doesn't matter if they're licensed right now. I want them, they go through my program, they go through my basic real estate 101 class. After that, if they're still not licensed, they become an intern, turn into an internship with me for a few months so they can continue learning while they're still practicing, take their tests. And then even after that, they graduate from that and go to being part of my team and learning being part of the team, working cohesively with a team, which I think is very important, because as opposed to like getting your license, you're independent, you never understood how it felt to work for a team. So I think it's very important that's why I'm creating these, these systems in place so they can go to the next level. And after that, after they've been in my team for, let's say, 12 months or a year, or until they've closed a certain amount of transactions where I'm confident that they know what they're doing, then at that point, they'll be independent. And then at that point, from being independent, they can start building their own team if that's what they choose for. And then after that, my goal, like I said, is my vision is to be the next brand. So, I mean, I've vision down the road to open a brokerage, or I guess you can call it a profit center, in one in Orange County, one in San Diego County, one in LA County, in different counties. So I'm hoping to definitely looking forward to finding leaders that want to help me with that, and finding leaders that want to coach and train and give back. So yeah, definitely. I don't want agents. I'll be honest. That's one of the things I'm probably going to ask agents, and moving forward when I'm vetting whether or not I want this agent to be part of my team or part of my brokerage is, do they want to grow? Right?
So that's a perfect transition into my next question. What do you look for in a new agent? You know, because I mean, let's be honest. You know, there's a quote that goes, everyone has a plan until they get punched in the mouth.
Yeah.
So, and I've been there. You know, I was a recruiter in the past.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, you can be motivated for so long, right? You can be excited, and you can have the best plan. And I mean, everybody wants to be successful, right? But real estate is one of those businesses, in sales, right? And it's not easy. It's
Oh yeah.
hard, and it's not for everyone. It requires certain skills. It requires certain traits. And so what do you believe are the reasons a new agent fails or succeed in this business? You know, what are the traits that you're looking for?
That's an excellent question. As far as failures, I mean, and it doesn't even matter of if you're a realtor or what industry you are in, just anything in life. I mean, the number one reason most agents fail is they quit too early, right? That's I'll be honest, if there's anything, is they just quit too early. And it's not just agents, lenders, anybody, even in the military, right? A lot of people quit. You know, they one day in boot camp, they like, oh, I quit. I can't hack this, right? So I mean, a lot of people, you know, quit too early before they realize the results. And this is, I read this book called The Slight Edge, and I remember this. It's a slight edge, bro. If you've heard of that, slight edge is doing the activity every day without expecting any results. But in the long term, it's gonna be the, you know, greater results. Just like, you know, I always say, it's like, keep it simple, like brushing your teeth. You know, if you brush your teeth once, you're not gonna have you know, see immediate results. But imagine not brushing your teeth for a month, a year, what the results will be, right? So it's something basic. Is most agents fail because they quit too early. Also, most agents fail because of not necessarily lack of support, because our training, because like I mentioned in the beginning, there's tons of trainings for agent, regardless if their current broker or brokerage or manager or whatever you want to call it is not giving them a training. There's a lot of training. I mean, there's a site called YouTube, right? I'll be honest. I'll be honest. When I first got into real estate back in 2014 and transitioned to get into real estate, YouTube was my friend. I looked up I went online real estate trainings, you know, how scripts and all that, and I listened. And so really, and that really comes back to I guess the mindset, right? A lot of reason most agents, whether they fail or succeed, is based on their mindset, right? Is how do they look at things? Are they gonna quit when the first you know, negative thing happens in their life? You know, and this is something I go over you know, in my boot camp or my workshop, is when we're calling lead generation. Like, a lot of people don't like calling leads, right? And they're like, oh, I called this lead once and they didn't pick up. This lead doesn't work, right? I mean, I told you earlier on, I had a client call me 3 years. It's been 3 years. Just call me 3 years later. I had a client yesterday I spoke to. Actually, I hadn't spoken to. I got this lead about 2-3 months ago. I'll be honest, I called this lead 30 plus times, along with the regular emails and drips that my CRM system. Finally got a hold of her yesterday. And guess what? She is looking to buy. in the next few months, right? But most agents quit before they even quit. By the second call, they're like, this lead doesn't want to buy, because if they wanted to buy, they would have answered. Oh, really? Is that how it works? So that's a lot of things. Is the failures is really, I would say it starts with your attitude and your mindset. I mean, there's a lot more to it, you know, but attitude and mindset will take you anywhere in life. And I think that's the first thing and the main thing that really I'm looking for in bringing agents moving forward to my brokers is, what's their attitude? Do they have a positive attitude or negative attitude? You know, what's their mindset? You know, how do they, you know, look at things, right? And I think if they have a positive attitude and a positive mindset, me as a broker, I can fit everything in, because I would say mindset before skill set, right? My job is to teach you this, give you the skill set. Your job is to have the mindset. I can't give you the mindset.
Perfect.
No matter how great I am.
Well put. Yes, I 100% agree with that as well. Attitude is a little thing, right? That makes a big difference.
Exactly.
Okay. All right, Antonio. Well, we getting to the end of it. Last but not least, is there any advice you would give to a new agent?
My advice to a new agent, especially starting out, I mean, I'm assuming they're licensed already, right? So they got their license?
Yes. Starting out. Yep.
Yeah, my advice for an agent is exactly what you're doing right now. Is definitely, before you even join a brokerage, is definitely, I definitely encourage them to actually interview a few brokers as well. I mean, because more than anything, I mean, it's not about, like I said, everybody's going to offer the same training, technology, support, blah, 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 all this that everybody says. The most important thing that as a new agent you have to look at is, can I see myself working in that brokerage? Can I see my current broker or my leader, whoever the case is, really helping me gain the success and helping me achieve my goals? If that's the case, it doesn't matter what the split is. It doesn't matter what the training is. You're going to get the training, all that along the way. Is, can you see yourself working with that, you know, particular manager or broker or a brokerage altogether? And second, right, is, are you in the short game or are you in the long game? This is very important. Most agents starting out, they see all these agents, or they see HGTV, millionaire listing agent, all that, right? See the glitz, the glory and the glitz out there, and they want to be successful. They want to make that money. Oh yeah, I'm going to be a millionaire in 12 months.
Yep.
I had one agent talk to me. She was, I would say 18, 19 years old now. And she wanted, oh yeah, I want to do luxury listings. I want to just focus on luxury. I want to do this. I want to start, you know, fix and flip. I'm going to be successful. And my advice to her is like, that's great. But I want you to do this. Measure your success in your first 12 months, not based off how much money you make, right? But based off how much more knowledge you've gained in the last 12 months. How the personal development, the connections. I believe in networking. I'm a big networker, as you know. It's connecting with as many lenders, escrow, titles, you know, financial planners, people in the industry, not even necessarily in the real estate industry. Connection, building those connections, going to the trainings, doing one-on-one mastermind sessions with people outside of your brokerage. There's a lot of people like, oh, we offer all the trainings here in my brokerage. No. Be willing to go outside your brokerage and talk to other agents. Not necessarily, hey, let me join your brokerage, but really, let me see what you guys are doing differently. And can I implement that in my business now where I'm currently at? Because most people quit. Most people leave the brokerage every year, go to another. Like they said, the grass is never green on the other side, right? And they don't find that out until later on.
Yep. And
it starts with you individually. It doesn't matter if it's me or another brokerage. It starts with you and building that foundation. That foundation is really starts with your attitude and the mindset and understanding that this is a long game. I'm not in here for 6 months, 12 months. I'm here to build a career long-term. And if you have a long-term vision, a long-term plan for your business, then all the different activities that you're doing now is going to be based off the long game and not just the short game. And that more than anything is going to help, keep people focused on the goals and focus on the bigger goal, which is whatever they plan to do with a real estate career. Because and that's really one thing that I also will sit down with my agents is figuring out what their long-term goal is. Are they trying to be a top producer? Are they want to build a team? Do they want to be a manage their own profit center or a real estate office, right? Do they want to be a partner and be a partner of the bigger vision, right, of AVM Real Estate Services? So those are the things, because if I know what their long-term vision is, it's easier for me to set a plan for them moving forward. And that's the reason a lot of people quit and fail, is they don't have the ultimate goal and the plan. And then one little setback, they quit. So yeah, I would say that's just kind of my advice, is really focus and have a long-term plan, or focus on the long game and not focus on the short game. Because if you just focus on the short game, just like right now in the pandemic, you're going to quit. You're going to oh, this sucks. This is not what I want to do. And that's kind of like helped me focus as well in building my brokerage and, building success for my real estate business as well.
Got it. Yeah. Commitment, right?
Mm-hmm.
Got to be committed to the work.
Yeah.
Process. Yep. Got it. Is there any other questions that they should be asking to the broker?
I think that's an excellent question. I think every individual is different. Because at the end of the day, like I mentioned to you, everybody's going to offer the same. The end of the day is, if I was going to ask a broker, my question, and I did because I've done this, the interview process is, what can they do to make me better? That's really my question. What can they do to make me better? There's a reason why I end up winning independent, and as opposed to joining a team or joining another brokerage, is because when I asked that question or when I examined it, they couldn't answer it. They're like, oh, we have technology. Okay, well, that's not making me better. I can get that technology somewhere else. What can they do to make me better and to get me to the ultimate goal that I want? And what a lot of these brokers, I asked them straight out, I want to have my own real estate brokerage. I want to have my own business like you are right now. And most of them didn't want that to happen. All right. They're like, okay, bro, well, join first, and then we'll talk about that. No, this is my ultimate goal. I want to create a big brand. I want to have my own brokerage like you. How can you help me do that? And a lot of them could not answer that question, simple question like that. So I said, you know what? Since they can't really help me help answer that question, I'm out. I'm just joining my own brokerage. I'm doing my own. So.
Got it. Is there a bad question to ask?
Is there a bad question?
Yes. For
agents? No, and like I said, there's no stupid questions, just stupid people, I guess. So there's not really a bad question. I would say, end of the day, this is your career, this is your livelihood and your future, right? So there's not necessarily a bad question. I would say, and this is the thing with a lot of agents that I talk to, and it doesn't even matter if they're looking to join my brokerage, is I try to be as transparent as possible with my with the person I'm talking to or sitting in front of. Even when I'm talking to my clients, I'm trying to be transparent. Even right now, and this is one thing I really want people to understand, is even right now during this pandemic, you'll hear a lot of people sugarcoat things, right? You talk to a lender or talk to realtors like, oh yeah, we'll be fine. We'll be back to normal once the shutdown, and everything will be back to normal, and the market will be back on fire, and everybody was singing hallelujah, and when and kissing and hugging everybody, right? And everything be back to normal. To me, I'd rather be transparent to my agents, to my clients, and let them know, not only my opinions, but what I feel is happening right now in the current state of the economy, as well as what they can expect from me. That's why I'm upfront with my agents also as well. I tell them upfront is, I'm still a producing broker. I'm still going to go out there every day and still make calls, still make leads. I'm going to make sure, I'm making money still, because And the day, if a plane is about to crash, you put on your mask first, right? Your oxygen mask first before you can help somebody else. And I think that's the most important thing, is making sure that I'm healthy, you know, so that I can properly lead the way, right? You can't lead somebody if you're dead. so I think that's the thing with our business. We can't lead effectively unless AVM Real Estate Services is not going to be able to grow unless it's solid. So that's why it starts with me, and I'm transparent with my agents. As long as they understand that, and that what the bigger picture is down the road, then yeah, I mean, you know, they can make a better, an intelligent decision for themselves and for their career.
Perfect. All right, Antonio, thank you. That was awesome. A lot of good information. Unfortunately, we got to the end of this meeting. So let's go ahead and recap and summarize, you know, what we talked about today.
Okay.
So today we talked about the type of questions that agents should be asking to the broker during the interview, and how important it is to choose the right broker, right? Remember, your reputation has a lot to do with the broker and the agents that you work with. So take your time and make sure that you do your due diligence before making a decision. Other than that, I want to thank everyone listening or watching this meeting. I also want to thank you, Antonio, for giving me the opportunity to be a part of it. I really appreciate that. So thank you for your time as well. And but before we go, I want to make sure that everyone knows how to contact you. So if you can please share with us, you know, what is the best way to get in contact with you?
Thank you. First of all, thank you, Carlos, for allowing me the time to you know, chat here with you as far as you know my brokerage. If they want to contact me, they definitely. I mean, they can call me directly. I'm a kind of guy that I answer my phone, I text and everything. They can call me at 323-605-4894. They can also find me on Instagram or on Facebook. I mean, my hashtag is Tony Real Estate 247. That's hashtag TONY Real Estate 247. So they can definitely find me in that, or they can just, I mean, I'm the guy, I do answer my private messages, my direct messages. So it's pretty easy to find me out there. Just look me up on Facebook or Instagram, or I guess you can even find me on TikTok now. So if you want to see, more of my personal side and, more of my comedic side, they can also find me on Instagram, on TikTok as well. So.
Wow. All right. So you're on TikTok as well, huh?
Yeah. Just trying to get, like I would say, is like right now, there's only two things that people want to see is they want to be informed or they want to be entertained. So I try to inform them as much as possible, but also try to entertain them and kind of like, let them know that, hey, we're in this together and we're still, stressful, but, I'm the kind of guy I like to have fun. I think humor really eases a lot of stress. So I think it's important for a lot of people to, even in their situation, how bad or dire it looks, is to be able to laugh, and just laugh and enjoy it. Because at the end of the day, a few months, a year from now, a couple years from down the road, we're going to be looking back on this and like, man, you remember the time we were all stuck at home, right?
Yep. Yep.
So I think it's important, to really laugh and appreciate. And that's one thing is I like is be appreciative of what we have and appreciate that we're still able to communicate one-on-one like we're doing right now through a Zoom call, in the comfort of our home.
Yes, this was perfect. All right. Well, everyone, stay safe out there. And if you have any other questions on how to get your license or just any questions at all, please do not hesitate to also contact me. And hasta la vista, my friends.
Have a good one.
You too, Antonio. Thank you.